Yeah, I got 3 people. What's up? Okay.
American football has been played in America since 1869. There are 32 football teams in the National Football League, about 132 teams in Division I, 125 football championships, and 770 collegiate teams, and thousands of high school football teams in America. On average, a college lineman gets 62 hits in one game. Due to these hits on all players, American football is facing a concussion epidemic without a solution to fix it in sight. The current discoveries in neurology have uncovered the effects of playing football. The revelations have led to a decline in public support, viewership of the NFL, while at the same time threatening the NFL with employment-related legal liability. This has caused a lot of NFL players to walk away from the game, and some of these notable players would be Chris Borland and Joshua Perry. They were in the league with really promising contracts, and they decided to leave the game because they didn't feel getting hit in the head was worth it. CTE is a brain disease caused by the accumulation of abnormal tau protein in the brain. It is a neurodegenerative brain condition that is unfortunately diagnosed after the victim has died. The amount of tau protein buildup in the brain is correlated with the symptoms of the disease. The symptoms range from short-term memory loss and emotional imbalances, apathy, stress to depression, among others. The speech of the patient, their reflexes, hearing, and sight capability are some of the areas which tests can be done to a certain CTE. Huge blows or small repeated blows to the head are capable of causing concussions. A bump, jolt, or hit to the head can cause the head or brain to move back and forth rapidly, cause the brain to twist or jolt in the process, secreting chemicals that are harmful to its cells, and at the same time stretching cells to be damaged. Just to show you an example of like an extreme case of CTE, this is just a normal 27-year-old, and then this is Aaron Hernandez, which he was a really promising tight end in the league, and then one situation caused him going to prison, and you can see the big difference between the two slides. The CTE crisis is such a huge spectacle in the NFL among the NFL players, as is reported from Boston University. CTE Center by Dr. Ann McKee. Dr. McKee reported that out of 220 players in the NFL donated to the center, 177 were reported to have CTE. 110 and 11 were reported having the abnormal tau protein. This data is devastating. Data is the reason for fear among young players, parents, and lovers of the game. Parents are pulling out their children from the game, especially in high school, where most concussions occur, where about 300,000 concussions occur per year. The high level of concussions is because the young players' skulls and brains are not fully developed, thus in the game is not void of brawls and tackles. Everybody has justification for getting worried. The research and publication witness concerning concussions and CTE in the NFL are changing perspectives about the NFL, especially in high school. Foreign players that came out expressing the repercussions of the game to their mental health, which has had the game take a hit. Viewership has declined in the NFL because of these concerns. This was a poll done by the Denver Post, and they asked, there was 10,000 people that did the poll, and they asked this simple question: have your NFL viewing habits changed this season? And this was taken in 2017, and they said, and 62% said yes, I'm watching fewer games, and 33% with no, and only 5% said they were watching more games. The flag football program across America has significantly grown, significantly to the correlation of CTE concussions in football. The NFL recognizes it to be the fact that concussions are directly related to the game and quantified as a car running into a wall 1,000 times. Players in the field are bound to hit each other, just like a car ramming into a wall high speed. Sport concussion laws were established due to the increase in number of concussions among the youth in football. The increase in concussions, the death of students after and during games, collapse while in the field, and publications of former athletes necessitated the induction of laws in the game. The essential tenets of the laws revolve around three aspects. First is the removal of the player from the field after a concussion happens or is suspected of exhibiting symptoms of a concussion. Second is the return of the player back to the field after a clearance of the medical team. Third is the education of the players and coaches and parents on concussions and CTE. This next slide, this is a flag football program that was done in Bend, Oregon, and they did a little poll showing the participation rates in tackle football and flag football from the years 2012 to 2017. And as you can see, the flag football numbers have been increasing and the tackle football numbers have been increasing. So there's definitely statistics to support these parents pulling their kids out of tackle football. Under the laws and regulations, a concussion protocol has been developed. A concussion protocol is a set of rules and guidelines protecting the players in the field. It covers the head and the neck and the spine before every game. The players are to be educated on concussions, how they occur, how they develop their effects, how they can be avoided, and how they can be dealt with in case they occur. A neurotrauma consultant is required to be in every game, evaluating every player who seems to have taken a hard hit in the NFL. The neurotrauma consultant also sits in booths, watching the game with interest of calling medical timeouts whenever it is deemed paramount. The unaffiliated consultant determines whether a player can go back on the field after a suspected concussion. The player might be ordered to the locker room after the assessment of the severity of the concussion. This next slide will show you the concussion protocol that has been just stated into the NFL. This was a similar protocol that was done to Rob Gronkowski when he had a really bad concussion back in 2018 in January. So the first step is rest and recovery, involves physical and cognitive rest. Second is light aerobic exercise. That means running around, moving around, getting the cardio. More aerobic exercises in the induction of strength training. So getting them used to straining their bodies like they would be on the field. And then they'll move them into doing non-contact drills, so doing shuffles, just basic stuff. And then after they can complete all these, then they're free to go back to the concussion protocol, or go free back to practice, and they pass the concussion protocol test. There is an established baseline survey for the brain activity and severity of the players before the start of every season. The test is used to determine whether the player is fit to play in that season. It is a rule that the referee has the responsibility of excusing any player from the field who seems to suffer a concussion. The referee is not supposed to take a player off the pitch because of normal tackles, but only severe tackles that seem to cause a concussion. This, however, doesn't cater to successive tackles, which might cause concussions in the long run. After the player is rescued from the field, the responsibility lies on the team's medical team to take care of the player. The back-to-pitch provisions dictates that an appropriate assessment occurs before they are allowed back to the pitch. The return to the pitch therefore relies on the competence of the medical team. The new rules and regulations introduced in the NFL have maintained the confidence of the stakeholders through narrow margins. The commitment of the NFL to the mental health of the campaign is the only thing keeping it afloat. The introduced laws majorly rely on the pre-existing structures and provisions. Their success is based on the competence of the teams in the fight against the pandemic. The laws are therefore faced with challenges and limitations, but are likely to inform and boost viewership and public support. I appreciate y'all coming out for my speech. That is all I have for today.